This is the swarm that I moved into this box 6 days ago, and I believe it was a virgin queen that was in this swarm. So it's still a little bit early for her to be mated, assuming she was a few days old enough to fly when she swarmed, and then 6 more days. It's kind of borderline. Maybe she got mated, maybe not. But I'm wanting to look and see their progress and see how they're developing on their progress on drawn comb, and possibly find some eggs. So I'm gonna peek in and see how this swarm is doing now after a 6-day install. Let me bring you in there a little bit closer. So they've started drawing out one side of this outer frame. This comb was already drawn out. It's an old brood comb, but it's all full of nectar and pollen. I'm watching for the queen and possibly eggs, but I think it's a little early for eggs. I gave this colony 2 drawn combs just so that they could have something to work with right away. There's no eggs yet, but I'm trying to find the queen. I would like to at least see her. My gloves are getting covered in propolis, so it makes letting go of the frames difficult. They stick to my gloves. This frame, this next one, was a brand new frame with a brand new plastic foundation 6 days ago. They got this side mostly drawn. Same as this side, it's mostly drawn out. This frame started buzzing really loud, which indicates that they've just now lost their queen. These bees lost their queen because she's probably still in the box. When they lose the scent of their queen, they start fanning. They're trying to draw their queen back to them. So, since this frame got loud and noisy and started fanning, I believe she's still in the box, probably on the next frame, hopefully. Okay, there's a lot of eggs in here. So this queen did get mated, which is excellent news. Okay, here's the queen. You might get to see her lay an egg. I'm not going to bother waiting for her to lay an egg, but I will show you some eggs. Actually, they're on the other side of this frame. Just a second. The queen's down here. I'm not sure if the eggs will show up or not. Okay, I still see the queen. That's really good progress for 6 days after installing the swarm. This swarm came from a good friend over at Purdon, Missouri, and these are native. These are feral bees. They're a little bit more testy, a little bit more defensive than most of my colonies. A lot of my queens I can work without the veil and gloves, but now I've got several different genetic strains in the yard, and some of the bees are a little bit more defensive than others. There's 27 colonies in the yard now. Give you a short little run around of the yard. These branches were put in front of the entrance on a split. When you split the colony and move the bees to a new spot, you can pile up branches and leaves in front of their entrance so that when they come out, they reorientate. It simulates their tree had fallen, and now they have to learn where their home is all over again. There's a few more up there, some of my equipment. So that's 6-day progress on this swarm, and the queen is mated and laying, so they're mostly drawn out into this nuke. So I'll give them another 4 or 5 days maybe, and at that point they're going to be back honey bound. Almost everything in here is either filled with nectar, pollen, or the queen laying eggs. So technically I probably should throw another nuke body above them and give them, I've got some drawn comb. I could give them some drawn comb, and the queen might start laying eggs in that drawn comb right away, which would be excellent. This swarm should do really, really well the rest of the year, getting ready for winter. A lot of my colonies are small mating nukes, so I'll try to get as many queens mated as possible, and then whatever I have mated, I'll just combine into the failed colonies so that they get a good jump start. For this feral colony, they're growing really fast, and I think they're going to be pretty successful.